Hi, I'm Jenny from Addictive Impressions, and today I'm unboxing my Smart Art Box. Smart Art Box is a monthly subscription. They send you a box full of supplies and instructions and some information in order that you can complete a project. Because they're full-size supplies, even after you've finished the project, there's plenty left to play with. And it's not just limited to common mediums, it may be something that you've never seen before. So it's a learning experience too. Okay, inside the box we have, on the inside of the lid, there are instructions on how to enter the monthly competition that they hold. The prize is a free art box, smart art box I should say. So you make your project, you upload it to social media, then you share it on Smart Art Box's Facebook page, and depending on likes and comments you go into the running for a free Smart Art box. We peel back the tissue paper, and inside is a pamphlet, brochure, whatever you like to call it, which gives us on the top first page there is information on the style or medium that is enclosed in the box, so it's a history lesson as well. Then down the bottom there's some handy pointers for that particular project, and then on the top right there is some information about the manufacturers of some of the supplies, and down the bottom there's an in-depth list of what's included in the box. But most important of all is on the back is the step-by-step guide to completing your project. Now this is a guide only, it's fairly basic, and it just leaves a lot of room for you to employ your creativity, because one of Smart Art's slogans is empower creativity. See, on the box. Okay, in the box, now I've got to start reading, is a Hahnemühle hand lettering pad. It's an 8" by 5", which is the equivalent of an A5 size. It's developed in collaboration with hand lettering artists. The paper in Hahnemühle hand lettering pads forms the basis for outstanding lettering. Brush pens, fine tip markers, calligraphy pens, fountain pens and pencils glide across this highly smooth paper. Its brilliant white bleed-proof surface has perfect absorption and drying for words are hard, as Lisa would say. Drying for brushes, fine tip and felt tip pens. Hahnemühle hand lettering pads hold 25 sheets of 80-pound or 170 GSM paper, and it kind of feels like Yupo paper. It's very smooth. It's almost slippery. So I assume that's what you need for hand lettering. Okay. So yeah, you get 25 sheets, so you can make plenty of mistakes, which is good because I make mistakes. Okay, also in the box is a Tombow beginner lettering set. Learn lettering essentials with the beginner lettering set. It includes everything you need to start hand lettering, including an instruction booklet with steps to get started. Each set includes 2 dual brush pens, 1, I'm not going to pronounce it, calligraphy pen, 1 mono twin permanent marker, 1 mono drawing pencil and 1 mono eraser. So that's all in that little packet. And on the back of the packet you can actually follow the instructions to tombowusa.com, and you can download some practice sheets of lettering. There's 2 sets. One set is for the large brush pens and the other set's for the mini calligraphy pen. I would warn you though that when you print them out, you shouldn't actually use the printed sheets on their own. You should lay a sheet of tracing paper or some other finer paper over the top, or you can damage your nibs, or so they say. Also in the box is a Princeton Snap Gold Tacklon Brush Round 4. Fun but not frivolous. Snap brushes from Princeton Artist Brush Company are high-quality artist tools. Designed from the neck down, their colourful handles feature unique, multicoloured designs that make these brushes true standouts. A great series of short-handled brushes for watercolourists, decorative painters and acrylic artists in a wide variety of brush shapes and sizes. And they're also made to appeal to your creative spirit. Okay, also in the box is Yasutomo Niji watercolour set. I hope I pronounced that right, and I don't mean any offence if I didn't. These quality watercolours are non-toxic, blendable and consistent in colour and performance. This 12 colour set includes white, vermilion, yellow ochre, chrome light green, cobalt blue, Prussian blue, carmine, burnt sienna, lemon yellow, viridian, burnt umber and black in 6mm tubes. Okay, that was all that was in the box. So we'll pop that away. And we'll have a little look at those instructions. Oh no, we won't. We'll have a look at what I did on the tracing paper. That was using the downloaded guide from Tombow USA. I didn't end up doing the capitals, which I kind of regretted after I did this project, or while I was doing the project, but that's the little mini pen. You can see the difference with the size of the lines you get between the mini pen and the larger pen. So yeah, maybe I cheated. Hey, I didn't say, I just opened it for the first time. Okay, now I can read the instructions. Oh, those fonts aren't the same as in the instructions. I decided to keep it simple stupid, me being the stupid that is, and just do the one sort of lettering, the one I'd practiced on from the Tombow site. So I also needed to add a sharpener, a ruler and a palette for my watercolours, along with some water for my watercolours and a cup of water to rinse my brushes. So that's what I usually use to mist, to fill my airbrush to mist my acrylic paints to keep them open longer. I'm learning how to do acrylics. Okay. Now I need to rule up my lines. I actually need to decide what I'm going to put on this piece of paper. And, oh, no I don't. I've got it completely wrong. Here we go. I'm going to show you exactly what's in the packet of Tombow. As if I didn't already tell you. But, hey. Here we go. This is the big brush pen. As you can see, it has a big brush tip on the end. Now, one thing they say is don't be scared to use pressure. You use the pressure on the downstroke and you lighten up on the upstroke, which gives you a thick downstroke and a light upstroke. The other end of that pen is a marker, and the grey one was the same, but I found that was really good for doing drop shadow. There's also the Tombow pencil, which is a smudge-proof pencil. And here we go with this mini calligraphy pen, which I just totally refuse to try and pronounce that name. I just sound stupid. It's like the big pen, but it's a mini one. Self-explanatory. Okay, this is the permanent marker. One end is a 0.4mm and the other end is a 0.8mm, so you can have a thick outline or a thin outline. There is also a Tombow mono eraser, and that was what was in that packet. Now I'm going to rule up that line, those lines. I've sped this up because drawing lines is like watching paint dry. Or watching lines being drawn is like watching paint dry. So this was so I didn't get my letters all over the place, because I have a habit of falling off the page. This was the sheet of the practice sheet from Tombow. There were 17 pages in the large one, and I think it was about 7 pages in the small one. And yeah, they don't match the project one, but the project guide is just a guide. So it's up to you what you put on your piece of paper. And I chose to put addictive impressions in a very boring, one font only type thing. Yeah, I will speed it up in a moment because, yeah, watching somebody write is just watching somebody write. Okay. It's actually really quite nice trying to writing like this. You actually get into a flow and it actually feels quite good to do it. Even if you're not perfect. Well, I need some more practice, obviously, but hey, I didn't have time to practice. And addictive impressions is, when I did nail art, I was addictive elegance, because the products I used were addictive products, and so I just changed the name when I couldn't do nail art anymore and started learning to do fine art. I adapted the name, so it became Addictive Impressions. Okay, so that's done. Now I just pick up the grey pen eventually and I do my drop shadow. I do this just by doing the same lettering but just moving it to the right slightly, and it actually did produce really quite a cool effect. It definitely gives depth to the lettering, and just made it look a little bit less boring. But I mean, you don't have to follow the guide. The guide. You can really splash out, I suppose. Anyway, I just did a boring one. Okay, so this is what it looked like with the drop shadow, and I can't hold pages straight, but you get the idea. Okay, I had to get rid of those guidelines because no one wants to see lines all over the page. Yeah, my OCD got the better of me. Now I had to draw just some little pictures so that I had something to work with with my watercolors. So I chose to draw an artist's palette and some brushes and some pencils along with the paintbrush, because I use odorless mineral spirits when I am doing my pencil work. and so I need a brush too, and I did a thumbnail of one of my coloured pencil pieces, which was of a tiger. And I really do apologise for the quality of the video as I zoom in. I didn't realise how much it was going to change it. I actually thought once I rendered the video it would be fine. I'm also going to look into a better lighting system and a better microphone. So hopefully future videos will be of a slightly higher quality. It wouldn't be hard. But you've got to start somewhere, and I had the footage and I'm not getting rid of the footage and I'm not doing it again. So I do apologise. Also, you can see I don't generally do very quick sketches like this. I usually take quite some time doing my initial sketches if I'm freehanding. And yeah, my work is generally a little bit more refined than this. But for a quick attempt at a new medium, I just went with it, went with what I could do. So I did just erase my pencil lines somewhat so I can not see them through the watercolours, because I thought the watercolours were going to be really, really transparent, but I maybe didn't add enough water. I don't know. There were no instructions on how to use the paints, how much water to add, and not being a watercolourist, I really didn't know what I was doing, so I just did what I could. I have used watercolour pencils, which are slightly different. They're really nothing like this. This was more like painting with acrylic, but they're watercolours. I guess, as I said, I should have maybe added a bit more water, but there were no instructions. So I'm just going to block in some colour on this tiger. Used fairly similar colour. I did actually change the colour slightly from the palette to the pencils and the base of the tiger. It's hard to see on this though. And I am only just learning acrylics too, so paintbrushes aren't my usual tools. I'm more comfortable with a pencil usually. But I'm learning. And this was another learning experience, learning watercolours, but with no instructions. Which I was a little disappointed about that. I really would have liked some instructions on how to use the watercolours. But and also the paper really didn't quite react that well, even though I didn't have much water in the paint. The paper really absorbed it. It didn't bleed, but it did warp a little bit, which made it a little bit more difficult to put when the paper wasn't where I expected it to be, sort of. It wasn't flat. But, as I said, I did what I could. So yeah, I'm just putting in some stripes on this tiger and some shadows. Just outlining his white fur so it stood out on the pad's surface. Again, some whiskers. And my favourite artist says it's not a professional video if you don't work off camera at some stage. So here we go. Here's my effort at working off camera. Just added some colours to the ends of the pencils. They're meant to be luminance, because luminance are my favourites. I have polychromos too, but luminance are my favourites. And I'll just give the tiger some green eyes. And I just realised I haven't put any leads in the pencil. Better put some lead in the pencil, or pigment in the pencil. And using the small or the mini brush pen, we'll just put a name down there. So there's the finished project. Thanks for watching. They'll be better next time, I hope.